Well, it's Fresh Marks into another fresh review, aka Zest for Life. Today it is blazing out here, so I'm gonna do a quick review before my phone burns up because I don't know, that just happens nowadays. And it is a beautiful day, very sunny, and there's a few blustery winds, but it's not changing it to make it cooler or anything. It's still a very nice day. So I'm thinking the kind of fragrances that I'm gonna choose. I was gonna do a cheapy fragrance, but I was thinking not just cheapy fragrance, something that or under £30 as I'd find it on average usually. I wanted something that would actually project as well, so something that you can use every day, cheap and great projection. So let's get into it with the cheapy fragrances that I use every day, and I'm going to pull out the wild card, the one that's a little bit unusual and I call quirky, because it mixes ginger, raspberry and black pepper with a tiny bit of with the very zesty fresh bergamot. I was going to say a tiny bit of yuzu, but that is the Lacoste Le Homme Intense, but this is Lacoste Le Homme Timeless. So this is a fresher bergamot. It's really, let me just spray it on. Yeah, so instantly you get a tiny bit of zesty grapefruit. The bergamot The bergamot and raspberry provide a fruity and refreshing clash that is resonant throughout the whole perfume, but the aromatic note of ginger is more of a side note with the Akigala woods, which is a synthetic mix of oud and patchouli. So it's a synthetic note of Akigala wood and cashmeran, which resembles the softness of a cashmere jumper. So this is good for autumn. You can wear it for, I really recommend it for summer and spring. It might be a little bit harsh on the skin on spring if it's really beating down the sun, and it might cause reaction if because the pepper. So definitely spring and autumn is its best. Spring, autumn and summer, but for sensitive skin types, be aware about wearing in spring. But I think this is fantastically versatile, but the refreshing nature of bergamot makes it a winner. I got this, it's about, is it 50? Yeah, 50 ml for £15 when I got it. And you can find it for about 20, maximum about 21, £25. So definitely check that out for 50 ml. The Lacoste Le Homme Timeless is something that you could wear with a suit formally, because it would be refreshing but not too much raspberry to make it like a little bit too crazy. Like the intense one, the yuzu, is a little bit too sour, so it's more out there. You can wear it with a suit, but great for casual wear too. Another one that I just discovered recently is Rihanna's Robe Man. Now this is a white floral scent, jasmine. It's got a dash of bergamot like all the other fragrances, but I think the main star in this is the pepper and the jasmine with it has a buttery fresh floral nature. I have to spray it one more time. Yeah, so in the beginning it's a little bit, it's more of a soapy musky fragrance, and then the pepper and light musky sweet amber. It's a very effervescent powdery amber with jasmine, which is quite realistic, definitely for the price as well. But nonetheless, despite its price, it is very realistic. But the price of £6 for 15 ml, with this is a 15 ml, yes, so 15 ml for about £6, which is ridiculous for a fragrance that I've been spraying on for the last week. And when you add it up, it's about 15 sprays on the average perfume spray bottle per milliliter. So I've been getting a lot out of this actually. Every time I go work or something like that, or I go out and I want to refresh, I could wear this, and you can actually fit it in your pocket with this size of 15 ml. Don't really buy 15 ml smaller ones, but this was a great price. And very interesting that this is the first male fragrance that Rihanna has released in her line. The other ones are female, but this has gone down very well. Great job by Frank Vogel, who is the maker of Dolce Gabbana Velvet Amber Sun. So great job with Dolce Gabbana, and likewise for the price especially. I mean, it's a complex jasmine, peppery, sweet, musky, ambery scent, and to have that much complexity for £6 is a no-brainer. I think it's great to have on the side. Rihanna Robe Man. I went a little bit on with that one, but I was just very surprised with the quality for the price, so that's why I decided to talk a little bit more about that one. The next one is another musky fragrance with, it does have the note of amber. It's supposed to just be amber, spicy notes and musk, but I think it's a little bit more than that. It has a lot of very peppery opening. Rituals Roy Orient is, despite its blue nature, is quite spicy but fresh and cooling at the same time. So yeah, it's not completely misleading, the cooling blue, but it does have an oriental note about it, let's say, with the spicy notes. But not too spicy, let's say. Let's get ready for this. I usually cough with this one because the white pepper. Let's put this in place. I haven't sprayed. Yeah, so instantly you get. Yeah, so instantly you get the white pepper in its acidity, the black pepper in its rounding spice, but not a clove, not. It's not aromatic in any way. It's just pungent, spicy, sour, and the very cooling, sweet, musky amber note. So a lot of people, when I went out and tested this on the street, White Eau de Parfum vs Rituals Roy Orient, maybe you have seen it in the Fresh Mark Scents page, but I did a comparison between this and White Eau de Parfum. They said that White Eau de Parfum was a lot more masculine, and notably a masculine perfume compared to this. So I would say that a confident unisex wearer, I mean, it's a unisex perfume, I'd say, is marketed as so, but I would say that a confident wearer would be distinguished in wearing this because it has some spicy notes that are intriguing, the mixture of white and black pepper, and I think a bit of cumin as well, which makes it slightly spicy, and the musk is sweet, and it has a slightly green vetiver-esque overtone. So it's spicy, it's sour, hot, musky, and ambery sweet. Not too powdery, but it definitely has a short sillage about it. This lasts about 5 hours, so I would say that for a perfume that lasts for 5 hours, the price of about, you can get this for £15 for, what is it, this is 15 mil, so it is a little bit more pricey, but it's different at the same time. Confident unisex wearers only. Roy Orient by Rituals. The next one is something that I wear, I've worn a lot through my teenage years if I just wanted a quality wood perfume. I'm talking about sandalwood, a very smooth wood. Ted Baker XO, Extraordinary, is a spicy woody perfume. I do like my spicy ambery woody perfumes, amber in particular, but this opens up with pink pepper. Yeah. Yes, pink pepper, mandarin orange, a tiny bit of bergamot, sorry, but not enough to make it creamy. It's a sandalwood that's making it creamy, and it has a middle note of cedar. So it's resoundingly woody in a masculine way. It has the pink pepper to create some sour heat, let's say. Pink pepper, I would say, is more of a fruity pepper, so it has a sort of tropical tinge about it, almost like pineapple if it was on its own with salt and bergamot. So this bergamot, pink pepper, and cedar combination makes it fresh, woody, masculine, and brings some heat about it. And in the base, the sandalwood and general amber note. It has amber as a general note. It doesn't really say what constitutes as the amber note, but it does have a vanilla as well. So it's not resinous, but it has a powdery vanilla touch. So with the cheaper perfumes, you'd find out that the definition of the perfume isn't so much, or isn't so clear. And what I mean by definition of the perfume is that the notes are not resoundingly clear or differentiated, or they may be powdery instead of a plethora of senses or notes or flavors in one note that make that one note, so it's not so complex. But with this you get a very nice sandalwood. The vanilla is, it's not the best, but it is definitely compensated by the smoothness of the sandalwood, the complexity of a little bit of mandarin and pink pepper, and that cedar keeps it fresh for about 4 hours projection, and then by the 5th hour it's just sort of like a skin scent. So really good for £8.50 for 100ml. That is the cheapest one out of all them. You find a maximum about £12.50 in the stores. So that is one that I relied on in my teenage years when I was so broke. It was just ridiculous. I mean, I'd have like £50 in a year to spend on whatever, so that was just pocket money in it. So that's pocket money. Definitely go out and get it if you like woody scents on the cheap, which are interesting yet they don't smell cheap because they have a certain complexity about them. So next one is, if I want a gourmand scent on the go, kind of cheap, but it has some green notes as well. This is a pure excess for men. The female one also mixes around and messes around with the note of caramel and sweet sugar notes. Both great perfumes. I could do a review on that later actually, if you would like me to. Let me know in the comments section if you'd like that. But Pure Excess for Men is mixing ginger, caramel, sweet notes, or sweet green notes. It's a general green notes, but I believe it's a tarragon, because I remember it to be very sweet. Ah yes, I'm missing out the liqueur note. Yes, the liqueur, almost like a whiskey liqueur note, comes out. It's actually in the mid in terms of the note breakdown, but it comes out in the forefront with that touch of bergamot. Then again, and not enough bergamot to make it refreshing, or like a boost of refreshing aquatic or anything. It's just a soft touch of bergamot to lead into some creaminess that'll move into the smooth liquor, that fluid, slightly alcoholic tinge, not in a cheap way, in a very sweet way, with green notes, which I believe are tarragon, as I said before. Tarragon, maybe a touch of petitgrain, which is like a leafy twig note. There could even be some mate in there, because I'm getting some aromatic dryness, mate leaf like the tea. And when you mix that with the sugar note, there's actually a sugar note, caramel, and some, not ebony woods like the Black Excess. However, this goes in a more fresh direction with cedar, cashmeran, patchouli, myrrh, and that sugar, as I mentioned before, that comes more in the mid and to the forefront in the beginning of this fragrance. But at the end of the fragrance, you get a very syrupy yet fresh perfume, because that ginger is keeping it aromatic, and a touch of cinnamon is what keeps it sweet too. and rounds off the resinous nature, the resinous sweet nature of the myrrh in the base. So definitely check this one out if you want a gourmand perfume that doesn't smell cheap, but it has some complex and fresh green notes with it. So check out Pure Excess. The Eau de Toilette, by the way. The Eau de Parfum is better for winter and it's more resinous and sweet and syrupy. However, I believe that this can be worn in summer, winter and autumn. So check that one out. The last one I've got to mention, because I've been talking about it a lot recently and I have been wearing it a lot, so I'll be lying to myself if it's not one of my favorite cheapies out of the list. Karl Lagerfeld's Bois de Yuzu. Now, this is a very refreshing perfume focusing on the bergamot. So a lot of perfumes, as I mentioned over here, they have bergamot. A lot of men's perfume have bergamot. I'm surprised it's not run out in the world, really, at this rate. But Bois de Yuzu opens very green, stays green, and then it has a light woody note that reminds me of Bulgari for men, neroli wood, and has a slight raspy oak moss tone about it. And the end, that does remind me of Bulgari woodman, not the trail man, whatever, the one that smells like dirt, but the Bulgari man wood. And there's Bulgari neroli wood with the bergamot in here, with the opening sense of bergamot. It's very similar. However, this has more complexity because it adds the refreshing nature of mint, rosemary. Definitely you can smell the rosemary in here, which is gentlemanly in its soft nature, in its soft minty, almost minty, where it has got mint in it, herbal nature. So it provides a complexity whilst having a refreshingly open green blast of bergamot in there. I describe it as open and airy because it reminds me of a little bit, the dry down reminds me of green grass because it does have vetiver in here, but it has not too much of the minty freshness, but I think it's the sweetness from the mint and the herbal nature of the mint is definitely captured in this rosemary that is over here. Very refreshingly green, and for the price, I think it's fantastic. This is quite a simple perfume actually. In the top note, it has the rosemary, grapefruit, yuzu, which keeps it sour fresh, mint. In the mid, you have some. It has a general woody note. There's some patchouli in the base, and oak moss. But all in all, oh, actually, it does have some ginger as well in the mid that keeps it aromatic. It's sort of the running theme of the rosemary and ginger is similar to Paco Rabanne's Pure Excess. However, this doesn't have a caramel note. This goes straight into the refreshing green section, and this is more of a caramel syrupy gourmand with green aspects. So definitely this is the more refreshing out of the two. But yes, it's fantastic morning fragrance if you want to just wake up in the morning and feel refreshed. And if you keep it in a little bottle atomizer, it would be a great work scent too, just to refresh yourself in the office and keep herbal fresh, but not overpoweringly so. So definitely check this one out. But as a warning to people, I have had this in an atomizer, I've decanted it, but if it's in the sunlight for too long, it goes very sour and has a sort of UNS smell, like urine, let's say. Definitely it goes off very quickly if it's put in a bottle. So I'm gonna put this out of the sun right now. That is the last one out of all of these, so all of them are worth checking out, especially for the price. But if you find them in store, try before you buy. But they're not really that bad to blind buy actually. You could blind buy this, robe, and you'd have a white floral that is durable wearable for most men, which is quite hard to find. A white floral that most men would be comfortable with. So robe for men, definitely check out. Boys do Yuzu, Ted Baker XO, Pass the Home Timeless, and Pure Excess EDT. That's my selection of perfumes for under £30 that you can wear all year round. Stay free and stay fresh.